Okay, this is section 4.2 in your Mathlinks 7 book. The show you know is ask you to, let me move this over the side here. First show you know says convert each fraction to a decimal number, round each decimal number to the indicated place value, then convert to a percent. Okay, so the first question says 27 out of 56. Now if I was to draw a rectangle and say that this was 0% and this was 50% and this was 100%, 27 out of 56 is roughly just a little bit less than half. And I know that because 28 out of 56 is exactly half. So because it's 27 out of 56, I know that this fraction as a decimal will be just a little bit less than 0.5. So I'm estimating to start just to kind of see what it would be. But the way we're going to actually calculate what it is as percent is we're going to use a calculator. And we're going to think of this, oh, oops, daisy, undo that. We're going to think of this as being a division question. So instead of seeing it as a fraction, 27/56, I can also think of it as being 27 divided by 56. That's two ways to interpret it. It can be thought of as being a fraction, or it can be thought of as a division. And when we take 27 and we divide it by 56, we actually create this decimal. And this decimal is 0.4821, etc. Let's put dots. Okay? So that's what it is as a decimal. And it says round to the nearest tenths. So if I round to the nearest tenths, it's approximately equal to 0.5 because there's our tenth place. Our hundredth position will help round that up or stay the same. In this case, 0.48 is closer to decimal 5 than it is to decimal 4. So our approximate answer is decimal 5. But then it says, then convert each to a percent. Okay? So I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use this one to do my percent. So 0.4821 dot 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 is approximately, if I was to convert that to a fraction, just that number there, that would be 4,821 tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. Okay, if that was converted to a fraction. But if I wanted to make this into a percent, I could divide 10,000 by, well, in this case 100, because I move it two places over once, twice. That would be 100. Divide by 100, move it over once, twice. And I would get 48.21 out of 100, which is approximately 48.2%. And I'll just keep 1%, one decimal place, 1%. Okay? So what I really do, in essence, you don't always have to convert it to this decimal or this fraction here. You can simply think about it as, I want to just think about my hundredths. And what I boxed up right there is 48 hundredths. 48 hundredths, which is approximately 48%, if you want to do it that way. And all you can do is just add that extra one outside the hundredths position, the thousandths, and just put your decimal there if you want. That's one way to do it. Okay, let's look at the next one. So the next one is 125 out of 396. So let's just think about this for a second. What would three of these be? 125 times 3 is 375. So roughly, this is approximately, if I was to think about this as a fraction, it's probably about a third. It's approximately a third, roughly, because there's 3 of these for every one of these. So I'm going to guess that this is around a third. That's my estimation. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same process we did before. I'm going to take a calculator, go 125 divided by 396, and that equals 0.3156. And notice how the 565656 repeats forever. So I can actually put a bar above that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. That 56 repeats to infinity. Or approximately, remember we want to focus on my hundredths here, 31 hundredths. So approximately 31.56%. Or if I round that, approximately 31.6%, because I can actually keep it myself to one decimal place there. Okay. And the last one is 1496 out of 2005. 1496 out of 2005. So this is roughly, if I was to kind of make this into an easier one, 1500 out of 2000 is approximately that fraction, which would be approximately 3/4. So I know my estimation is going to be approximately 3/4, or approximately 3/4 as a decimal would be this. So I'm expecting to see something that's close to this. So take my calculator. 1496 divided by 2005 should be around 0.75, and it's 0.7461. Remember, I'm going to keep my tenths position, which is approximately 74.61%. And if I round it just to the nearest decimal place, which is approximately 74.6%. Okay, so that's the first show you know.